So, when today we're making a turn-based combat, I'm pretty sure I referenced that. So yeah. So in the last class, I showed you a little bit of how Python works, how you can code in Python. Well, today we're going to put a little bit of that to the use by making a turn-based combat game. So what we're going to do is we need to open these three dots, and then we're going to open these three dots. So first of all, as soon as you open this, you're going to see this, the drawing app we made. Yeah. So you're going to see this. So there's a small this. Oh, it's popped up in another window. So as you can see, this was what we made in the last class. We can draw stuff. As you can see, it's pretty cool. And yeah, and we also found out that there's a bug in here. If you press two buttons at the same time, it's going to make this triangle. So yeah. And if you time everything correctly, you can actually do some weird things. Like if I were to just do this. As you can see, some of the strokes are a little bit weird. The ones that happen. They do this and then they make a completely weird shape. So yeah, that's that. As you can see, it worked. So what we're gonna do is we are going to make the turn-based combat projects. We need to start off by making a. So what we do is you want to click on, go to the hamburger menu at the top left, hover over file, then go project. So project. So we're gonna start off by creating a new project, and we're gonna call this turn-based combat. So yes, okay. Yeah. So we're gonna call it turn-based based combats. And we want to push the create button. So it's going to start off by creating a virtual environment first. And that's a green flag for us. And that's telling us that we can get started. So under main.py, we want to remove all this code. We're at Control A and then push backspace. We're going to have a clean slate. So what we have to do now is we have to get started. So what we're going to do in this game is we're going to have some sort of a modular approach. Okay. So first of all, we need to make some logic. I'm not going to put all the logic in the same file because that's going to make a little bit of problems. In the last class, we discussed a little bit all about modules, right? We discussed a little bit about modules. What those modules do is they're packages, right? We can do stuff with them so we don't have to do it over and over again. We can make our own modules, which is, we use them basically just for making our code cleaner. And it's pretty cool. So we're going to do that first by clicking on turn-based combat. So we need to create two files, okay? And we're going to start off today by learning about classes. Is they're the most basic thing that we can learn. So right click on turn-based combat or whatever you called it, and then click on Python file. And it should be new file, and then click on Python file. And then just write a name. Just write a name for the file. Let's call it, so what we're gonna have is we're gonna have a class for the player. Okay? We're gonna have a class for the player. And then we need to have, so in here, we're going to, the code. I'm just creating the files right now. Or not even player, let's call it character since that makes more sense. So go over player, make sure it's blue, right click it. So click player and then right click it and then look for what you can do, right? And then out of those things, what you want to do is click on refactor and then hover over rename and click on it. And then instead of calling it player, call it character.
Am I audible?
If you are audible. So yeah. There's this feature in Zoom. So we can, so you don't do any interruption. There's a feature in Zoom where you can raise your hand. If you have a question, just raise your hand virtually, and I'll be able to see that. Just give me a second. So I just had a little bit of a problem there with something. So what we're gonna do now is, yeah. So I told you about the hand raising feature. If you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll be able to see it. So that's that. So we need to create a few more files, right? We need to create a few more files, and that's for single player game and multiplayer games. So click on turn-based combat, right click, and then click on new, and then Python file. Okay. You can unmute whoever has Fatima. Miss Fatima has a question, so she can unmute. Please go ahead.
Hello, what will we do in here?
I didn't get that. Can you please repeat it?
Yes?
Can you please say that again?
No.
No. I think you had a question, right? You have a question?
No, we have not a question.
Okay. So, okay, that's that. What we're gonna do now is we need to click on Python file, right? And then just write the name for it. This is going to be single player game. Okay, single player game. And we also have new Python file, 2-player game. There you go. And we're gonna start off from main.py since that's gonna be the easiest one. So what we're gonna do is we need to import these two packages first. So the first package we need to import is, well, the things we made, so single player game, right? And then we need to also import the 2-player game. wrote it correctly. I don't know what the problem it's getting. It is two-player-game.py. Oh wait, I'm writing this in the two-player-game.py. I forgot to click on main. Click on main.py and then do those two things. First, import single-player.py, single-player-game.py, and then do multiplayer-game.py. I'm having a little bit of problem with this menu. So we have single player game and two player game. I hope this is working since it's giving me a yellow line. So what we're gonna do after this is we need to, print what this game is. We're gonna call it Computer Battles because it's kind of cool. Computer, or yeah, we can call it a fighting game, I guess. Fighting game. And then you need to make and then you need to ask the user what they want to be, what they want to do. If they want to do single player game or a multiplayer game. So we can write that by saying PS, so player selection, short form for player selection, is equal to an input, and we're gonna ask the user what character do you want to choose? Or wait, no. Choose. So what we're gonna do is write quote 3 times. Basically, so we can write multiple lines. We want to say, right, enter, right? We're gonna do 1 dot single player, and then you want to do enter. 2 is going to be multiplayer. Yeah, so multiplayer. So after doing that, what we do, after doing that, what we do is you need to make the characters array. So write it in all capitals, meaning it's a constant. So constants don't change. So in all capitals, write characters. And then characters is going to be equal to an array. And that array will have an array inside of it. Okay? Right? And then for the first thing you want to do in that array is write the name of the character. So we can have a bunch of characters. We can add any character. For now, I'm just going to make up some random character and then put it in. We can say Ice Cream Man, or no. Let's do, we can just add any random hero. Think of something and add it. I'm gonna add Spider-Man, and then add another array in there. So another array. So you can have arrays, and then you can have arrays inside of them. Arrays inside of arrays are called 2D arrays, and they're very useful because if you want to do some complicated things. So characters is equal to an array. We should have another array inside of it. And then we have Spider-Man. Okay? Spider-Man, and then we need to have another array, and that array will have the moves. So the first move in our array should be an offensive move. So what we do, so if I do offensive, let's write offense. Or wait, no, not like that. So in there, you need to add another quote since you can't write strings in Python without quotes. So we need to add that string to write the name. Yeah, like that. Let's write in here. Let's write attacking move. So attacking colon. So, or no, we can just write. We can write web attack. For those of you similar with Spider-Man, or just write web attack. And then here, let's write web heal. Okay, I don't know how it would work. Just write those two things. But we would need more than one character for the game to be interesting. Since we can have that, we can yeah. Let's have, or not Spider-Man, let's do Spider. Just Spider. Let's do right, alien. So we have an alien in here. The alien will have, let's say, laser, comma, say he's gonna have a laser, and he's gonna have a potion. Or wait, yeah. We can have, we have an alien. We can also add, let's say a scientist. Scientist. SCIEN. This is how you spell science. So scientist. Like that. And then you want to write an array of multiple things. Okay. So this array will have the moves. So let's say this scientist guy has let's just say he has 2 shots. Okay, if you know what I mean by shots. And what he does, the scientist, he has 2 shots, and one is gonna be bad shot. Okay, so this bad shot, what it will do is it will hurt the person, and then we can have medicine shot. This will be to heal the player, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So we have 3 players. I guess that would be a good, I think that's a good number. If you have any ideas, you can put them in the chat. I will be more than happy to add them. I'll be more than happy to add them in a change, to change it. So after this, what we want to do is we want to add. So after that, after we do that, we need to print, we need to say if this player selection is equal to, so if the player selection is 1, if the player selection is 1, please don't annotate on the screen. We want to say single player game dots. We're going to create a function in there called main. So single player game dot main. And then we want to say else. No, we need to say elif. Daniel, I don't know how to pronounce it. If someone has a question, you can go ahead. Daniel Ali. You can unmute.
Excuse me, sir. Daniel this side. Sir, I want to say that can I go early because I have to go somewhere now.
Okay, no problem. You can leave early. There's going to be a recording of this class, which you will be able to view. So that's that. And also for those of you who weren't here in basics, you don't know this, you need to see all the messages, the latest things, like if I'm not able to attend or something. To know that, what you need to do is there's going to be a Google Classroom one, okay? Google Classroom. So let me just show you how to get into that. There you go. So if you are not in this group already, this is just a small quick tutorial on how to get into it. I will be sending you this link, Happy Class Invite link. Okay. I'm going to be sending you this link. And everyone right now who's attending, just go into the chat, click on that link. It's going to take you to a page. And if it asks you a code, I'm also gonna, if it asks you, but which it shouldn't, just put in this code, okay? With that said, and you will be able to see every new update that I add. There will also be classwork sometimes. So after today, I'm gonna ask you, there's gonna be a small bit of homework, and that homework has to be finished by tomorrow. But if you have a problem, like if you're not unable to complete it, I'm gonna ask everyone that attends tomorrow. I'm gonna ask them if they did the homework or not. And if you were unable to complete it, just say it. There's no problem in that. Remember, all homework is always to check your knowledge and just make sure that you don't have any mistakes. Okay. Single player game, and then we also want to add 2-player game in here. So, and then we want to do main. And then both of these functions take characters, right? So all the characters, so single player game main, it needs the characters, so the player can actually choose something to play with. Okay. And we have 2-player game, characters, right? And then if they do nothing, if they say, okay, if they put like 3 or something, and I need to say enter your selection. Else, if they put 3 or something, they need to put 1 or 2. So 1 would be single player, 2 would be multiplayer. So after this enter your selection, just write \n for a new line, right? And then else, colons, else, what are we gonna do if they put 3? Or they put anything else, like they put 256 or ABC or whatever. We're going to terminate the program. We're going to exit, right? So we need to say quit, right? So in these two things, we actually need to make the main function. So we're going to make this, in this one, we're going to make it pretty quickly. So def main, like that, and just do and it needs, oh, Ruhan has a question. You can go ahead. You can say your question. You're unmuted. Ruhan, did you have a question? Looks like you didn't, so We're just gonna continue. And every file will have a characters. So we need to write CHARS, characters. Okay. So we have def main, which we're gonna add the characters in there. And then we want to do the same thing for 2-player game. Def main chars. We're not making the second 2-player game. If we don't, it's gonna give us errors. So what we have to do in here is just write pass. Pass just says, okay, we're not gonna use this function. This is just undefined. Okay. So what we're gonna do, 1-player game and 2-player game. So that's that. And now we can get started in our single-player game. Okay. For this, what we have to do is define main, and then in here we have so what we have to do is in here it automatically does this. So we need this, right? So the way that it's gonna happen, right? You can just do this. So this is called a doc string. Whenever I write this, and then just push enter. That's all you need to do. Here, right? A function used to initialize a function that's going to be used to initialize a single player game. Okay. And then in main, if you look here, Farhan has a question.
Yes, I have a question that can you please show that file again? That single player?
Oh, single player game?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Their second one, what is there written?
You don't have to write this by hand. If you just write 3 quotes and then push enter, it's automatically gonna do this.
Okay.
So just write quotes, hold down quotes, push it 3 times. Okay. And then if you push enter once, this is gonna happen. And then write a function used to initialize a single player game. Please do not annotate on the screen. It's a little bit disturbing. So with that said, we need to go into main. Right? Else we have quits, single player and 2-player game. Right? Like this. So let's run this to test how if it works or not. So we have single player and multiplayer. What we have to do is let's write 1. Let's see what happens. It says process finished with exit code 0. So if now we wrote the doc string, and you might be telling me, is this even useful? What's the point of writing a doc string? It's this. If we wrote a doc string, suppose we made this game public. We made this mod into an actual module. If you do this, and then I wrote main, like other people using this code, they would actually know, oh, so this is what this does. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Define main. So after doing that, we have choosing single player mode. So we need to, let's just write print. Okay. Okay. choosing single player mode. Okay, so we're gonna start by choosing single player mode. What are we gonna do in single player mode though? Right? That's the main question. So we need to get started by checking if valid is false. So we need to say valid is equal to false to check if the player even did a valid character, right? And we're gonna check if they did that or not next. So yeah. So we say valid is equal to false, and then we need to say character without moves is equal to an empty array. Chars chars. So characters underscore with chars underscore without underscore moves. So this is every character without a move. Oh, Farhan has a question.
No, by mistake, my hand was raised.
Okay. No problem. So characters without moves is going to be equal to an empty array. And we can actually shorten that to MVS. Okay. After that, we need to go over every character in every player. So and we can just do this. So for player in chars with 4 player in chars. Okay. Just to dress it out a little easier. 4 player in chars. We need to say chars, not chars. We need to say chars without moves. Dot appends. Characters without moves that append. And then we're gonna append all the characters that come. So we need to say player index 0. Okay. And then we want to say actually there's useless doing this. So we're just gonna get rid of that and that, and then or wait, no, we might have to use it later. Might be useful later. And then let's just print it out. So print player index 0. Okay. Okay. So after that, what we want to do is you want to say user underscore player. So the player that the user picks is going to be equal to an input. And that input will say pick your character. And then we're gonna say type full name or else it won't take it. Type full name or else it won't take it. Okay. So user player, we check what the user wants, what player the user wants. And then we want to say for character. So for every character we appended to character without moves. So for char in characters without moves. And I added an extra S at the end on accident. And then do colon. And then after we do that colon, what we want to do now is we will have to do our user player, right? Get our user player. We need to actually check what player the user chose. So we need to say if the user underscore player, And then we want to put it in lowercase, okay? So dot lower. We're putting in lowercase because in main.py, I purposely wrote every first letter capital of everything. If we just lowercase that, it's going to be better. Okay, so, and then we want to say char. So the character that's going to come is also going to be in lowercase. So char dot lower. Since the character is going to be a string, make it lower. And then we want to say print. And we want to say print. You have. So we need to do a formatted string, and then we need to say you have chosen, and then write whatever they chose. So char. Okay. Right. We're gonna write you have chosen char, and then we can say valid is gonna be true. Valid is equal to true. And then we want to say else, or no, not like that. We need to say like this. So valid is true. And then we want to say else we want to say continue. And what this continue statement does is if we have if and else, right? If I say else continue, it basically means that don't stop checking. Just do this, and then go back to the start. Right? It's gonna check from the if again. Okay, so we need to go back up here. We're gonna get the next character. So suppose we chose alien. What it's gonna do is first it's gonna come spider, right? So we need to say spider, and we're gonna check is the user player, the player that we put, the user chose, equal to spider. Char.lower is gonna equal to spider, is gonna be spider. So we need to say if it is, if the user did choose spider, which we didn't, it'll say that. Otherwise, it's gonna continue. So in our case, it's gonna continue. And we chose alien, right? So it's gonna say for char in chars without moves. Again, so we get the second character this time, which is going to be the alien. So it's gonna check again if the user player dot lower is equal to if we chose alien. So it's gonna check if it's equal to alien, which it is. So it's gonna print out you have chosen alien, and it's gonna say valid true. But we don't do anything if valid is true or false, right? So we need to do something. So we need to say now we need to say if valid is equal to false with two equals. If valid is equal to false, after this, meaning the user typed something wrong. Yeah. So instead of doing if valid is equal to false, PyCharm just told me I can write if not valid. So I'm saying if whatever I put is not valid, then you want to do this. And what we're gonna do is say print. So if we didn't choose a valid character, it's going to print you have chosen an invalid character. Invalid with one L. You have chosen an invalid character, comma. Oh my God. Program will terminate, meaning the program will stop and then you want to write quit after that. And we can give quit a code, and we're gonna give it 0, meaning, or we can give it code 5. Code 5 just means we did something and we chose something invalid. Also put it here, quit code 5. And every time we quit, because the user chose something invalid, we're gonna do quit 5. Okay? And then enter your selection. Let's do, suppose 3. 3 is not a valid selection. Process finish with exit code 5. Otherwise, it would say process finish with exit code 0. We purposely are telling it exit with code 5 because this is going to be, and we can also just raise one of a custom error. So we can say raise invalid selection. It's very complicated. We're gonna say raise error, or I think exception is in here. Yeah, so raise exception is in bulletins, and we can write an error message. So raise error, and that error message is going to be invalid selection, and then we're gonna quit 5. And it says this code is unreachable, so we can just delete that. So this time if I put 3, it's gonna exit with code 1. Right? Exception, invalid selection. And I think we can also just pass the code 5. So let's run that. Now let's try it again. Let's do something wrong. 3. Comma code is equal to 5. Or wait. Exception, base exception. Args, quarks. Okay. So what we're gonna do is just gonna raise an error. Like that. We want to say 1 multiplier. So yeah, it's gonna say invalid selection, right? Which is what we want, and this can that's another way we can do it. Let's just do it the normal way with our quit statement, because it's easier. And we can also give it a code. So quit shift and delete. Oh my god. Shift and delete. Right? Put the tab back in there and then just say quit. And then we can put the code. So oh my god. Why is there such a problem? Quit with exit code 5. 5 meaning you chose something invalid. Or our own custom error with a class. Right? So to do this, what we're gonna do is we need to say now if I just do a normal something correctly, so if I do 1, it's gonna say okay, choosing single player choosing single player mode, and then it's telling us to pick a character. Just write the name. So what if I write some random stuff? It's gonna say you have chosen an invalid character, program will terminate, and then process finished with exit code 5. I put a small problem in here that I forgot to mention last class. This is gonna be the most problematic thing this entire class. So what the thing we have to do is we have to go to not the bulletins.py, we need to go to the two-player game. I mean the single-player game, and you need to put a \n after this. \n, like that. So new line statement. If I do single-player now, now it's going to tell us to pick a character. Let's do Spider. And now notice, if I put the D capital, you can see that in Spider, only the S is capital, not the D, not the F or anything. There is no F in Spider. What's wrong with me? Yeah. Oh. So, yeah. So we have Spider with a capital D. What do you think was gonna happen? And I want you to write in the chat. Is this going to make an error? Or is this going to make an error? Or is this just going to run? So what I mean by error is this gonna say, is it invalid? Or is it going to say it's valid? Remember the logic we put in here. I'll keep the code open, and I want you to put the answer in the chat. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds, or I'm gonna give you a minute. Think about it and put the answer down in the chat. So there are two options. Put an error. You can put either error, or you can put keep running. Ruhan says it will keep running. And try to put the answer quickly. And Muhammad Adil and Umrah Hassan says it will keep running. Okay. Any other answers? Just put it in the chat. Or there's also this reaction, I think. Yes. Farhan says it. Farhan also says it will run. So yeah, we have a lot of people saying it's going to run. Everyone is saying it's gonna run. So let's say I just push enter. It says you have chosen Spider, meaning it did run. But if I add an S after Spider, so if I do 1, and then I put spiders, like this, spiders. What do you think? Will it run or will it not run? Will it show an error? Will it show our error? I'm gonna give you another minute to solve this. If we put spiders instead of spider, will it give us an error or will it continue running? Put it in the chat. So error because the code does not have any variable called spiders. Okay, so everyone said this time it's gonna show an error. Ruhan, I actually like your explanation since he actually explains why. There's a difference between just giving an answer to something and actually knowing why that's the answer. I can study science for 3 hours straight. I can study science for 3 hours straight. I can memorize I could just look in the textbooks for the answers and memorize them. There's another way of doing it, and that other way is actually understanding why this is that. I can study chemistry for an hour straight. I have a test on chemistry tomorrow. I'm just gonna look at the answers, just know what the question is, find the answers to them, just memorize them. I can do that. But I can also look for every answer for each question, and then actually put it in my head, and then understand why this will not work and that will. So that was small little, and yes, everyone was correct. it will give you an error. Why? The exact same thing. The exact same thing that Ruhan said, because we do not have a variable in our program called spiders, right? And it gives us the process finish with exit code 5. Like that. So now what we're gonna do is what we're gonna do after this, we wrote spiders. What we're gonna do here now is we're saying it won't run. So the reason it won't run is we don't have a variable called it. So we have that. So let's continue running. Okay. So your data is over. No problem. You can hear the class recording, like I said to Daniel. Yeah. So no problem in that. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start off by after this, what we need to do is we need to give the player a random character based on all of the characters we have. So we have spider, we have alien, and we have scientist. Okay. Okay. And then we have that. We need to say CP player, so computer underscore player is equal to CP player is equal to what's it called? What do we need to do? I forgot. Yeah. So CP player will be equal to a random choice from all the players we get from the random players. So what we need to come do here is go all the way to the top. So there's a little shortcut if you don't really want to move your mouse. Hold down Control and then push home. Enter. So it's going to create a line for that. And then here, this is where we want to write import random. And let's just do it as RDM for a sweeter convention. And then what we want to do is we want to say RDM dot choice. So we need to make a random choice. And then we will have not random dot random dot choice from our characters. Right. So after this, we are going to make so we need to give two instances in here. So CP underscore health. So the health for the computer, we're gonna have 100 health by default, and then we're gonna have 100 health by default for the player as well. So what we need to do is we define the health for both of them. Like this. See, CP health. So the computer health 100. So the computer has 100 health, and the player has 100 health, right? So this computer has 100 health, and the player has 100 health by default. Right when the player starts, the computer should know that it has 100 health. And then we want to say print. The user should also know what character the computer chose. So print computer has chosen, and I'm pretty sure the computer will choose what it chose. So before print, write F to format it, right? And then we have random choice characters. in there, what we need to do is we need to write the CP underscore player index 0, which is going to be the name of the character. Right? So let's see if this works so far by running it. Single player game, 1, enter. And now we can, let's just pick alien. And now that I've picked alien, there's a 33.3333333, 33 and a third chance that the computer will pick alien. That's a pretty big chance. And you want to know why that's the chance, that's the probability that alien will, the computer will pick alien? I'm getting kind of out of topic here, but that there's a 33.3333% chance because we have 3 characters, 33 and a third, right? We have 3 characters. So every character has a 33% chance. The computer has a 33% chance of picking one of these 3, right? We chose alien. There's 33% chance that the computer will pick alien, and there is a 66% chance, 66 and 2/3 of a chance that it's going to pick scientists or spider. Let's see if the math is correct. And yes, the computer chose sciences. Right? The more characters we add, the smaller the percentile rate is that the computer will pick the exact same character as us. Okay? So computer has chosen CP player index like that. Now we can just print out round 1 prints. Round 1. Okay. And then let's wait a little bit, 2 seconds for like a dramatic pause or something. So let's write time here. And you're gonna see the first package. So the first thing you see, just hit enter to that, and then it's gonna add the time package. And then you need to say time.sleep, meaning have a pause this long, and then write 2. So this is just saying, give me a 2-second pause. All right, just give me a 2-second pause right after I do this. So what we're gonna do now is we sleep for 2 seconds, and then we're gonna say print fight. Print fight. Like this. So what we do after this is we need to say, after we say fight, we need to have an infinite loop. While true. While true, we need to say if the CP health, so the health of the computer, is greater than 0. So while the computer is alive, and then write and. So this is to say if the player is also alive. So player P underscore health is greater than 0. So we're just saying the player health, P player, P underscore health. Oh my God, not CP health. P health, player health is 0, right? After this, what we need to say is player computer underscore health is greater than 0. So computer is alive and the player is alive. We need to do some other, and we need to do some things. So this is checking that, and we need to say in here for every character in character. So for char in chars. So we're gonna loop through every character again, and then in there, what we need to do is add. I'm forgetting something. Yeah, so what we need to do is we need to add the player. We need to make the player instance and the computer character instance. This is where the other class comes in. Okay, So we need to say player is equal to the character, right? Player is equal to the character. And the we need to make an instance for the character. So char instance is equal to a new character. And we need to import that. And be sure that's imported. We need to import it separately here. So import char character. Like that. But we didn't make the character yet. So instead of just importing character, we need to say import character from character. So what we're gonna do is we're in Python did something weird. You need to say from character. So from the character file, import the character class, which we're gonna make in a second. Import the character class, right? And then we need to say class. I'm not sure if this will work now. So I need to write character. And then write parentheses and then colon. The parentheses is actually useless in class. So first we need to understand how this works. To understand how this works, we need to know how a turn-based combat game will work. Every character has its own, well, set of rules, right? Every character has its own condition, right? So we can basically say that the condition for it is going to be, there's going to be separate conditions for this character. Right? So I don't know how to say this, but we could have some extra functionality with this instance type thing. Okay? So first of all, we can create some one-liners. Okay? So as I said, I've traveled and I just faced a power outage. So you can come over that. It's not gonna be that hard. So so did everyone copy down the code that I just showed? So from the previous file, from the single player game, did everyone copy down that code? Give a thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't, that type thing. So we're gonna continue by making some one-liners. So one-liners meaning we could add something cool to say, but make it in all capitals since it's not gonna be changeable. One-liners, and then we can just write something cool, like to say, like you know how it works when there's a character. You could add I don't know how you would say it, but one-liners meaning ouch or something. Like you know, if you know what an onomatopoeia is, like we can say kaboom, ouch or something. to make it kind of sound like someone is announcing something, someone is there in the fight. But that's not really necessary, so we're just gonna remove it. And we need to make these things, right? So what we need to do is we need to say def underscore underscore inits underscore underscore. This is going to do that. And that will have self dot name is going to equal to name, which I'm going to tell you, if it gives you a red line, don't worry about it. And then we need to say self dot moves is equal to moves. The reason it's giving us red lines is because we didn't define it. So this is the new concept. I didn't teach you guys this. This is the concept of classes. The concept of what there is with the concept of classes is you can have multiple functions inside of a class. Okay, inside of a master class, you can have multiple functions. And as soon as you say define in itself, there's going to be this little cell thing that pops up saying self. Right? And then you want to keep that, or else it's going to show you 4 red lines. Right now, it's only showing me 2. Like that. So self, comma, and you also want to do this. Self, comma, and you also want to add, what do you call it? Moves. So you want to add self, and you also want to add moves. So not self moves, and you need to do self in name and self in moves. Like that. Don't know why that opens. So what we want to do now, it should be moves, not move. Like that. So after this, what we want to do is we want to add the use move. So we're going to do this real quick. And in tomorrow's class, we're going to do a bunch of the topics and we might finish the game. Okay? But tonight's homework, or today's homework, I want you to finish this by topping it off. And I want you to top it off by adding a little bit of code. And that code is updating the characters so you have more characters. Okay? Make it so that you can have more than 3 characters, since there aren't that many characters. And I will create a Google Classroom assignment. I'll show you how to upload it. Okay? Right before the class ends. So let's just continue right now. We have def init. Let's write use move. So def use move. And then it's gonna add self by itself, which we need self. And then you want to add 3 things. No, 2 things. Just give me a second. So self, and you need to have move. So what move we're gonna do right now? And then you have enemy. So what the enemy is going to be, right? And then you have we need to say prince. Yeah. Your enemy is equal to a character, right? An enemy is going to be equal to an empty character. Or wait, no. So like that, prince. Remove this equal. It's gonna generate some errors. And then it's a prince. And we're gonna say if heal. We also want to do heal, which by default is going to equal to false. The capital F. We want to say if not heal, so if not heal, then we want to say, go to this line, push a tab, add a tab. So if we didn't heal, then do print. So if we're not healing this time, we want to say, and then do format. We want to do self.name did 10 damage. Did 10 damage on. We need to say print whoever it is did 10 damage on, let's say, the computer. So we need to say enemy.name. Enemy.name. So enemy is also going to be one of the characters. It's going to be a character and stuff. Else, if we are healing, we want to say print formatted string self.name dot 10 health from using, and then we want to say the 10 damage by using the move on the enemy name. So whoever the enemy was. So the way this works, the brackets, they add code into our strings. So that's that. That's a character instance. And let's run it just to see if everything is working. We can do a 1, single player. And then we can do 2. We can do, let's just say, spider. So right now it just says, so that's that, right? Round 1 fight, and I think there's a little bug in here. So import character from character. Char instance is going to equal to character. So the reason it's not stopping is because we have while true. While true basically means it never stops. Whatever you do is you can't stop it. Okay? So you have to use the stop button to stop it. And then you want to say char instance. It's going to give you a little bit of warning. And then for char instance, say character. In parentheses. And then you want to do something like this. User player. So user player, I'm pretty sure this thing does. Pretty sure user player is yes, and it takes the name. Takes the name in the moves, right? So you have the user player the user has. Whoops. Yeah. I need to say chart instance and character parentheses use player. Right. I don't really know what to do after this. So characters use player, and then we need to say user player moves. So we need to do the moves of our player. Oh, does Shifa, Miss Fatima has a question? You can go ahead.
Sir, can I leave the class?
There are only 2 minutes left. Yeah. What was I gonna show you? There's this one thing I wanted to show you guys. Yeah. I'm gonna show you how to submit the homework assignment. Then you can leave the class. Okay.
Okay.
So the way this is gonna work, whoops, the way this is gonna work is you can go onto the classroom, right? And you will be able to see classwork. You won't see like me, you won't see something identical to me, you're gonna see something else. I think I can change my Google account. Oh yeah. So day one assignment, don't really need it anymore. Delete. So I'm gonna create the assignment and I'm gonna show you how to upload something to it. But I'm gonna need someone to share their screen to do it. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Or you know what? I'm just gonna create it right here. Okay. I'm going to make an assignment. I'm also gonna add a short quiz. So title is gonna be assignments for the turn-based combat. And then instructions, I'm just gonna write upload your code file. Okay, upload your code file. Assign. So in here, I want someone to share their screen. So I'm gonna stop sharing mine, and I want someone to share their screen. If you are willingly able to share your screen, please raise your hand, since you will be able to help us out. Yeah. You know what? I'll just do it myself. So the way we're gonna do this is, you see that we have assignment for day one, assignment for the turn-based combat. You might see something like this. It's gonna be 100 points. You want to how do I use student queue on this? Mods, settings. Asset Online Python course. Right. So here, oh, Farhan raised his hand.
I have a doubt that how we have to upload our assignment.
Yeah, I will show you that right now, but as the teacher, I don't have the rights to actually upload anything. So I would need someone that is a student in here to actually upload something. So Farhan, can you share your screen to show us how this works?
Okay, I can.
I'm gonna stop sharing and you should be able to share your screen.
Can you now see?
No, I can't really see your screen. It just says Farhan has started screen sharing. So can you stop sharing and then share again?
Okay. How we are? My Zoom is not opening. Wait.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna share screen, and which will stop you from sharing, and then I'm gonna stop sharing mine. So now you should be able to share it again. You're muted. Let me just unmute you. I'm still unable to see it. Yeah, now I can see it. So just click on join class.
Wait. Yes.
So click on join class.
Yes, I have joined.
So after you join, click on classwork.
Okay, I have done.
So after clicking on classwork, you will have assignment for the turn-based combat. Just click on it.
I clicked.
And then click on view instructions. So for today, what you have to do is click on add or create. So this is for until tomorrow's class, right? So click on add or create.
Your work.
Yeah, so your work is just click on add or create. And then
Okay.
click on file. So there's going to be a button called file. Push that. And then after pushing file, you will have the option to upload it. So just go to there, right? Another way to do this. So right now, just click on the X. No, there's an X at the top right here.
Oh.
That's remote control. Just click on allow. So you see this? You have add or create, right?
Yes.
Farhan, I think you're only sharing the what do you call it? The window. Share your entire screen so I can also see your code, and I can also actually show you.
Wait.
So, are you able to stop it, or should I just stop your share? After stopping, to share your screen again, and this time.
Can you stop it?
Okay. So just click on instead of doing a window, click on entire screen. It's going to be called screen when you click on share screen.
I've shared.
Okay, yes. So you only shared pie chart.
Yes.
No, I want you to share the entire screen.
Like this.
Not like that. You have this, right?
Yes.
Are you able to run your code? Here, wait.
Okay.
Does it work?
I'm running.
Yeah. So just stop moving your mouse. I got you. Edit. Continue anyway. Just click on cancel. Click on use that. It's going to be Python. So now that we have that, everywhere you have red lines, you
Yes.
have if not valid. And you didn't make a new file, like a new folder, like I told you, a new project. But it's okay. So we have if not valid. This should be you forgot to do some of the code. You can look at the recording and do that. So for today's homework, what I said was for today's homework, I told everyone to do the add more players in here. Okay. So adding more players in here is not that hard. Okay. So You just need to use the old method, copy and paste it, change the names, change the moves. Okay. So see if this works. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're clicking when you do share screen, you're actually just doing the, what do you call it? You're only doing the PyCharm window. You're not doing the entire screen. There's going to be an option when you click on share screen. There's going to be an option called screen. When you do that, you're going to see the Zoom window. Okay, you might see yourself or me talking in the center. So I'm gonna stop your screen sharing. This time, actually do it so you can see me or you on the screen. Okay.
I have to click on whiteboard or iPad.
What do you see? What else do you see other than iPhone and iPad whiteboard?
I can see that screen that our
Click on
class
screen.
work- Yes, screen.
Yeah, click on screen.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as you can see, just allow remote control. There you go. Now, what we have to do is in PyCharm, you have this code, right? What I want you to do is I want you to have a main.py. Yeah. So I want you to make a new project and then copy all this coding in there. So it's a little bit of there's a little problematic in here.
Okay.
Okay. To new, yes it is. So there's what I want you to do is make a new project and then follow everything. But for you, yes, let's see. Yeah. So we have single player game. That's the functioning thing you have. In here, what I want you to do is I don't know. Yeah. What I want you to do is follow everything, and where it says characters, add all the characters. Right? So suppose this is all the characters are in here. Suppose. What you want to do is go into that file, right? Go into all the 3 files. So Control A, and then copy, and then click on Chrome, right? Go to Chrome,
Wait,
and then go to the classroom link. So just do that. Yeah. So go to the classroom link, and then we have classroom work, right? And then click on assignment for the turn-based combat. Click it twice. Click it once, and then click on view instructions. And then click on add or create. Here, click, say, got it. Add or create. There might be a little bit of stuff. Click on docs, right? Click on docs. Then it's gonna say creating Google Docs. And then in the Google Docs, what you wanna do. Okay, and then click on got it. You can click on that to edit it, to change stuff in it, right? Assignment for the turn-based combat. Okay. So in here, first of all, write the file name. Okay, so what file this is gonna be. So suppose this is your single player game. Okay. So this is your single player game, right? So if you go back to Firefox or Chrome or whatever browser you're using, so I'm not going to hand it in, I'm just showing you. Say, so this is a single player game, right? So just type that out and then go down, hit enter, and then just paste it. So whatever the code that you had copied, just paste it. So as I said, Control A, Control C. See if you have clipboard enabled.
Control C.
Yeah, Control C and then Control V. Copy that. Go into here. 10:14. So we're a little bit more time over. Yeah. So we have that code in here. It just took a while to get in there. And then you will be able to go back. So just save this here. Right? And then you have assignment for the turn-based combat. So once you get everything correct, so that's just for the single player game. Once you're done with that, so you'll have 3 documents since there's every 3 thing. And then you just want to click on handed. I'm not going to do it since that's not your final version. And Farhan, for your homework for the code you did, there are a lot of problems in there, and you forgot to create the new project. So I want you to watch the recording of the class. Okay, watch the entire recording, and then what you
Okay.
want to do with that recording. So just do this file. Okay, and then you want to do new project. Do everything I do in there. You might not have the 3 dots, right? Since you don't have the latest version. What I want you to do is update your
Can you please,
PyCharm. I want you to
Azhar,
yes.
can you please stop? Can you please stop the screen? I have to do something.
Yeah, okay. So I also want you to get the latest version of PyCharm. So just download PyCharm again. I'll do that for you. Just give me a second. PyCharm Community Edition. Okay. If anyone does not have, if anyone has an older version of PyCharm, just download it. Okay, since you have older version, you might have an older version. Right? So if you didn't download PyCharm yet, there's going to be one at the top, PyCharm Professional. There's going to be one at the bottom, PyCharm Community. We want that. Download it. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So walk through the setup wizard, like you would normally do. Okay, and then you will have PyCharm updated. Okay, so you can stop sharing now. View options, stop participants screen share. There you go. So now that everyone knows how to upload their assignments, that's the end of their class. That's the end of the class. We didn't manage time correctly. So yeah, that's that. We're going to end the class. I hope everyone had a good day, and we'll